this Majority Report clip, I watched 10 seconds of it off stream, and it was too much. I had to stop. And the whole thing is 1 minute and 53 seconds. Okay? It's about Ethan. So.
FYI, Hassan has been doing worse than apologia for groups like Hezbollah and Houthis in his reaction to Zionism. I mean,
that, yeah, okay.
I don't know what he said, but I really don't care. To be honest, I find the like safe, cozy, rich white people in America picking apart the ideology of resistance groups. Yep. Like, there's nothing to me that makes me want to like scream more. It's the height of privilege, and it's just such Western chauvinism. So
no, the height of privilege is being in a position where your knowledge of the Middle East is so limited that as long as a group fights with Israel, then we don't need to care about anything else that they do to Arabs in that region. Because again, I've said this many times, this is the cheat code. Do you see how it's worked here, okay? And there's definitely somewhere in Arabic. So Hezbollah's reputation as a resistance group in the Arab world has been quite weakened. Because they're in Lebanon by people who are not Shia, they're not seen as a resistance group, like defenders of the country. They're seen as a proxy. They're seen as an extension of Iranian influence in the area, which they are. That's exactly what they are. And then it gets even worse when in 2011, when Assad was facing protesters in the streets, Hezbollah joined Assad. There were Hezbollah forces shooting at protesters who opposed the Assad regime and giving guidance to the military. And when it seemed like the Assad regime was actually in trouble because their army was really weak and the Syrian opposition, the Free Syrian Army and all these other groups were really were putting up a good fight, then Hezbollah decided to join Assad. They propped them up. They gave training to the soldiers. They provided manpower. They provided weapons. They provided training on how to use those weapons. They coordinated sieges. So they propped up Assad. One of the reasons we know, by the way, that one of the first chemical weapons attacks from Assad on his own people was real. One of the reasons we know that attack was real was because the Germans intercepted a communication between Hezbollah and Iran with the Hezbollah.
Anyways, you know how I've been like going in pretty hard on Twitch lately? Have you been following my feed at all?
I've been watching, yeah.
I actually uncovered something insane, something crazy. Twitch is blocking signups from everyone that lives in Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. Like every Palestinian there.
What do you mean blocking? What do you mean blocking? What do you mean they're blocking?
You cannot create an account.
You can't create an account
anywhere
if you
on
live
Twitch at all. If you're a Palestinian, you cannot create an account at all. They've blocked it. Like here, I'm sending you a link right now. Look at this shit.
Okay.
Look at this shit right here.
Oops, we encountered an error. Please try again. Inspect element.
Yeah, look at the right side.
Error description. Blocked country IP. Oh.
Yeah.
Blocked country IP.
Yeah. So this is every Palestinian that is there cannot create a Twitch account, and I verified this has been in place since early November.
2023.
Yeah.
So a year, almost a year.
A year that they've been doing this.
So just after October 7th, they wait. Yep. So in their efforts to boycott Israel or whatever, but did you realize that Palestinians live in Israel? Yeah.
No, I don't think
that either. Never underestimate how fucking little a Westoid will take to learn about a different continent before they start having opinions about it.
That the Israeli leaders, especially when you look at Ben Gvir or what's the guy's name, Smotrich, whatever, they have like photo and genocidal statements. But I feel like when we're analyzing this type of stuff, we look at an analysis of the military policy rather than just inflammatory statements.
Well, we know. Okay, I mean, how about 2,000-pound bombs? Military doctrine coming from this.
I knew they were dumb. Like, it's not even surprising to me. It's just, but every now and then I'm like, oh.
Country would be, aside from the fact that we're selling them to Israel, you don't drop 2,000-pound bombs in such densely populated areas. You certainly don't need a 2,000-pound bomb for tents on a beach, right?
I wish I took more conversational control. You can't take conversational control. They'll just interrupt you. Like, again, they don't want to have a conversation with you. They don't care what you think. They just want to. You even said you agree with them on those things. You just weren't sure about genocide, and they're there to grandstand. They're also probably a little bit insecure about how. I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe not.
A rhetorical.
Wow.
What about it? What
if it's not genocide? You have such an issue with the term genocide. What if it's not genocide? Then what?
And I don't know what you expect me to say. It's a good
I'm asking you. You characterize it. It's not genocide. What is it?
They just killed 5.4% of the population, and it's not genocide.
What would that be? Is that just war?
It's the average like battle in an urban area about Hamas is human shielding using civilians.
Emma has never looked at the numbers or the data of any urban war or any urban battle in her entire life. This laugh is like this. She's like maybe trying to think of one. Emma she's never investigated any timeline or anything of any urban battle in history ever. She knows nothing about any urban battle that ever happened. That is just, performative. Okay.
Excuse me. Why does Israel put their Mossad headquarters in Tel Aviv? Are they shielding? Is that human shields?
It's a fucking separate building, you fucking retard. I'm sorry, we're literally comparing people who build tunnels and bunkers underneath civilian buildings, have their military infrastructure and their personnel inside civilian buildings, and you want to compare that to a military place in Tel Aviv, where you can go there's literally a fucking walled perimeter surrounding it with barbed wire and a fucking big gap between the wall and the building itself. And you think these are comparable? Not even to mention the fact that
a rhetorical use of the term genocide. To me,
wait, don't say it's rhetorical. I thought you were trying to make a legal claim. Wait, it's rhetorical now? What are you talking about? Is he not sure? Is he not sure about applying like a strict term? Does he think that, is he anticipating the ICJ saying, actually, no, it's not? Okay.
is really just a way for people who want to justify the
it's all part of the yeah, that's all. It's all part of the narrative. You can't. It's impossible to oppose the war but not want to call it genocide. That's impossible. You can't do it.
humanity and barbarism that is being unleashed by the Israeli government on Palestinians, both in Gaza.
By the way, translation, he just said, if you don't agree with us now and change your mind immediately, you are basically complicit. Like, you want tens of thousands of Arabs to die. That's what he actually said to you just there. Anyway.
Gaza and the West Bank